type in there where you're from, and then we're going to get started. I think we got a few people on here who are a little bit chat box shy. Okay, let's get going. I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. We're going to share this. That's it. So I would like to welcome everyone to How to Achieve Success, 5 steps to going from successful to going from overwhelmed to in charge of your life. So here we go. Just going to bring this up, put it in present mode. There we go. So the first thing that I'd like everybody to do is turn off your cell phones, close any browsers that you may have, and make sure that you have a great time and learn. The most important thing is that you learn. That's what we want everyone to do, is learn something new here. So in this webinar, what you're going to learn today is how to set proper goals. You need to learn to set proper goals so that you get back your time. I found that a lot of people said they didn't have enough time. We're going to learn how to create a winning self-image so that you can excel in your career and your relationships. We also are going to learn how to break through fear. Fear is one of the #1 things that holds everybody back. We're going to learn how to tap into your intuition so that you can make fast decisions and you ensure that you're making the right decisions when you do make them. You also are going to learn how to take action towards your purpose and how this will drive you to achieve the goals that you do set for yourself. So my name is Bonnie Crisp, and I'm 43. I'm enthusiastic about how I live my life. I get up every single morning, and I'm always happy about what I'm going to be doing each and every day. You know what? I wasn't always like this. I wonder if it's the same for you guys. Do you get up every morning, and are you enthusiastic about how you're going to live your day? Are you enthusiastic about the people that you're spending your day with? I know I wasn't always this way, but I am now. You know, there was a time when I was overwhelmed, stressed, tired, broke, and I had one illness after another. Does this sound familiar to you guys? So this is my story. When I was age 7, we were living across the tracks. That's what they called it. And they called it across the tracks because on that side of the tracks, there was no running water and there was no plumbing in the houses. I love this picture because that's what the outhouse looked like. That's not the house that we lived in, but I'm telling you, the outhouse was like that. The house wasn't much better, but it was a bit better than that. Then I stood there. I remember standing there when I was about 7 thinking, there's no damn way I'm going to live my life like this. And I remember my dad telling me, you know what? All you got to do is get an education. That's all you got to do. Graduate from school, and then you're going to be somebody. So then, when I was 18 years old, I graduated from school. I did everything he said, but I wasn't somebody. You know what? I felt like a failure because I wanted to get a higher education, but there was no money. There was no way I could go to school. So what was I supposed to do? Where was I supposed to go? So at 22, I had 2 kids. I wasn't married. I was working in a bar. I had no sleep. I was single, and I felt like I was drowning. But I still had that goal in mind. I still wanted to get a higher education. I still wanted to go to school. So I did it. I didn't have any money, but I found a way. So at 25, I had a career, but you know what? I was still stressed. I still felt overwhelmed, and it didn't make sense to me. Why did I still feel that way? So at 35, between the ages of 35 and 40, I started investing in myself. I started taking course after course. Some helped and some did absolutely nothing. I don't know if any of you can relate to that. Have you been taking courses, doing thing after thing, and it doesn't seem like it's working? Well, I did feel though that I was getting somewhere. So what changed it for me? Well, I was investing in myself and I was going after my goals, but it wasn't changing. So this is what happened. I found the right mentor. I found someone who taught me how my mind worked. And when I figured that out, it all changed. So this is how I'm going to teach you how to change your life. So it starts with setting goals. This is step one. You know, there's three types of goals. There's a type A goal, something that you know you can achieve. And I tell you, it's not very exciting. Then there's a B type goal, something that you think you can achieve, but you know what? It doesn't get your juices flowing. Maybe a little, but not very much. You don't get emotionally involved in a B type goal. Then there's a C type goal. This is something that you really, really want. You think about it day and night. And you know what? You get emotionally involved in it. I want you to remember that because that's a key to getting what you want. So why do you want to set a goal in the first place? Well, it gives you a target. It instructs your brain where you need to go. It also allows your brain to find the solutions to your problems. You see, you must understand the process if you're going to have your brain work for you and not against you. You know, the end result, when you select your goal by looking at the end result, you don't have to worry about how you're going to get there. This is the problem with people today. We all worry about how we're going to reach the goal. Then we don't even bother attempting to go after it because we're so busy worrying about what we don't have the resources, we don't have the time, we don't have the money, and then we don't go after these goals. That is the big problem here. You have to select the goal and then look at the end result. So there are two ways that you reach goals. One is when the process is known, and the other is when the process is unknown. So understanding how you operate. This is a huge key, so I want you to pay attention here. So we accomplish this process not by will or conscious thinking. So this is a little bit boring, but it's key to the process. So when you pick up a pencil, you do this by automation. So your automatic process takes over when you pick up the pencil. All you think is, I'm going to pick up a pencil. So that's your goal or your target. It triggers it into action by desire alone and feeds the information to the automatic mechanism, and your hand will continually correct course until the goal is achieved, which was picking up the pencil. Now think about this. You don't consciously say, I must contract my shoulder muscles to elevate my arm. Now I must contract my tricep to extend my arm, and so on and so forth, right? You just go ahead and pick up the pencil. In other words, you own this process. You have already learned how to do it. So think about a baby now. is training the automatic system, they repeat the step over and over again until it becomes natural, right? Think about when you learned to drive a car. You didn't just know how to do it. It was actually kind of cumbersome. You actually, swerved a little bit too much here and swerved a little bit too much over there. It was kind of jerky, right? At first, the movements, it was like a hit and miss thing. It's the same way with your automatic success system. It does the process, does the task, and it immediately forgets the failures and remembers what you did right. You can even do this in the dark, right? Once you've learned what a pencil feels like, if you're going after a pencil in the dark, you grope around and you feel around until you find the target, which is the pencil, and you recognize it when you find it. It's exactly the same way. And that's what I meant by it's kind of boring, but this is when you're going after a known target because you've already done it. You literally repeat it and you have successful attempts by habit. So this is how you learn a process. So now how do you do it when you're going after a target that is not known? So remember we talked about scanning, right? When you scan for that pencil? Well, this is the same thing when you're going after an unknown target. So you begin with a goal in mind. That's your target. You must have intense desire to achieve the goal. This is your C-type goal. You gotta want it and you gotta have emotion to want to do it. So you begin to think of all the angles of the goal or the problem. So your scanning mechanism, the stored information, actually gropes its way to the answer. It will select all the ideas and facts and series of experiences, and it relates them all together in a meaningful whole. Or it literally solves the problems. It will get you to the means of your goal. It then serves up all the information to your consciousness or your thinking mind. And you know what? It often does this at unguarded moments when you're thinking of something else or even in a dream. Have you ever had a time in your life when something just clicks and you recognize the answer that you were looking for? I know it's happened to me. This is a time when you're actually accessing universal consciousness. And we'll talk about this at a later time. So this is the process in a whole. So you set a goal, something you think up, something you really, really want. Then your imagination communicates the goal or the target to your self-image. We're going to have to talk about your self-image here in a little bit because the self-image is the filter. So if you have a negative self-image, your success mechanism now becomes a negative target. So we're going to have to work on that. So here we go. We'll go back to that. So your goal, what you thought up, communicates it to your imagination, or your target communicates it to your self-image, which then pumps out a work order or instructions to your success mechanism. You are literally built this way. It's an amazing process, and we're not utilizing it or using it. So I'm just going to jump out of here for a second. We're going to take a look here, and I'm going to ask you guys, do you understand this process? Just type in the chats. Have I communicated this to you well enough that you understand why a goal is so important? Just say hi, yay, nay, need more help. If you got it, then just say yes. Starting to wonder, is this chat working? Okay, I'm going to assume that you guys got this. Okay, here we go. We're going to go back to the slideshow. Okay, we'll bring it back up again. Okay, so now we have to talk about your self-image. Now, I told you that your self-image is the filter. So if you guys are thinking thoughts of worry, your success mechanism now becomes a failure mechanism. So have you guys ever thought things like, oh, this is just not going to work out. It's not going to work out. It's not going to work out. And then it doesn't work out. And then people wonder, well, why didn't it work out? Well, actually, it's because your self-image or what you were thinking is blocking your creative success. You need to start to think about it is going to work out, or how can I make this work out? That will actually get your success mechanism working. Can you change your self-image? So if you want to be a presenter, say you want to get up on a stage and you think that you look funny, what's going to happen is you will not be able to get up on that stage because you think everybody's looking at you and laughing at you. You can change your self-image, not by sheer willpower. It doesn't work that way. It is literally proven that you cannot just decide to change your self-image. There must be some grounds or some reason for deciding that the old picture is an error and that the new one is appropriate. You cannot merely imagine a new self-image unless you feel that it is based upon truth. You must see or realize the truth about yourself. So because you're designed for success, the truth is that every single human being is engineered for success by the Creator. So what changed it for me was that my mentor said, think about this. Would the Creator pump out a flawed product on purpose any more than a car manufacturer would intentionally make a dangerous car? That doesn't even make sense. So that's what changed it for me, because that didn't make sense to me. So I started looking at myself in a whole different way. I'm not flawed in any way. I'm actually designed to be perfect and to do things correctly. So this means that any old picture of you as unworthy, of unable to excel in certain aspects of your life, or even that person that was meant to fail is an error. It must be. It's literally a win-win. You are not flawed. So this is how the self-image works. Human beings always act, feel, and perform in accordance with what they imagine to be true about themselves and their environment. You can't escape this. You can't even outperform that picture. This is a basic fundamental law of the mind. It is just fact. So truth determines your action and behavior. So think about a bear. So if you're walking on a trail and you see a bear on the trail, let's say it's a grizzly bear. This is an automatic and appropriate response. Your muscles will get extra power. That's so you can run faster. It's just true. The heart beats faster because you need more oxygen. Adrenaline's going to pump into your bloodstream because your muscles need to move. All unnecessary body functions shut down, like digestion. It has to occur. You're going to breathe faster so you can get that oxygen into the bloodstream. But what if it was an actor and your mind thought it was a grizzly bear? Well, I guarantee you're going to have the same automatic and appropriate response, even though it was an actor. But your mind said it was this bear. So the reaction of someone meeting a bear is thought induced. People used to think it was emotions rather than the idea of it. And you know what? The idea information received from the environment is what the mind evaluates. So let's say that you want to get up on a stage and you want to present to someone, but you think that they're looking at you funny. You're going to have the same automatic response, but it's inappropriate. It's not the truth. You're literally, your heart's going to pound. Has this ever happened to you when you're going to go do something that you have this great idea, and then your heart starts to pound, you start flipping out? Well, it's because your mind is telling you something that's inappropriate, and you're going to have the same reaction. So human beings react to what they think, believe, or imagine in their environments to be true. That's how we behave. So take a look at these pictures. Now, you may look like this model, but you may believe you look like the guy in glasses. So you act and feel not according to what things are really like, but according to the image that you hold in your mind. You have a certain mental image of yourself, your world, and the people around you, and you will behave as though these images were the truth, reality, rather than the things that they represent. That is just true. Can you change your self-image? Damn rights you can. The first thing begins with understanding and realizing that our actions, feelings, and behaviors are the results of the own image and belief that you have in your mind. And you know what? This gives you leverage. If you understand this process, it opens powerful doors to gaining skill, success, and happiness. So what do you have to do? The first thing you have to do is set a target. You have to use your built-in success mechanism. You have to set a proper goal. Then you have to trust the automatic mechanism. You have to know that it operates on feedback mechanisms. So if you fail, it doesn't mean that that's the end goal. It just means it's setting up to target back to the goal. You have to be relaxed. You have to know that you're going to make a mistake. It's just a temporary failure. It's the negative feedback. That's it. You have to learn. You got to learn new skills. It's just trial and error. Think of the baby. The baby doesn't quit. Why are you as an adult quitting? Then you have to do. You must learn to trust your creative mechanism and do its work and not jam it. People are jamming it all the time. Don't get too anxious as to whether or not it's going to work. If you attempt to force it too much with conscious effort, then you're going to jam the servo mechanism. That's how it works. So make sure that you learn the process. Why? People always ask, why do you know so much about this? Well, because I've tried and tested it. I know that we actually think in pictures. This is one thing that I know for sure. You got to see yourself where you want to go. You got to see yourself doing what you want to do. Mental pictures are the key to your success. So I'm going to pop out of here and I want to see if anyone wants to do an exercise. So, can we chat yet? Is anyone in the chat here? So let's see if I can get anyone to chat. Say hello. Maybe you're on phones. Okay, well, I'm going to go through this mental exercise so that you can learn that you can actually visualize things. So can I get everyone out there to visualize their car? How big is your car? What color is your car? Is it, it's got 2 doors or 4 doors? How many seats does it have? Now, did everyone get a mental picture of their car? Now, if you got that mental picture, I want you to tell me, what does your brain look like? And I know from experience that nobody gets a picture of their brain. They are likened to see that picture that we've been shown of that spaghetti-like looking thing. That's not your brain. Your brain doesn't work like that. Your brain literally has connections in it. So we'll go back to the presentation, put it in present mode here. Now, if you don't know how your brain works, how are you going to bust past fear? You have to understand what is blocking you with fear. Because if you don't, then you're never going to get past the fear. So we went through the goals, the A type, the B type, the C type. So the C type is the one that you really, really want. And you know what happens when you get this C type goal? Well, you start freaking out. Everybody gets this feeling of, oh my God, what am I going to do? How am I going to achieve it? What happens to you is you are literally getting into a new vibration. So on this slide here, this is when you are in an X vibration. This is what we consider bondage. It is because this is your normal vibration, your X-type vibration. This is your comfort zone. So when you're in your comfort zone, everything is just fine. Everybody's just happy. You're just living right there, living the dream. But if you get a brand new idea, then as long as you're not stuffing it into your subconscious mind, you're okay. Nothing's going to happen because you're not giving it any emotion. As soon as you get some emotion in there and you put it into your subconscious mind, well, I tell you, all hell is going to break loose. This is called the terror barrier. So as soon as all hell breaks loose, your natural reaction is to go right back into the X vibration, your comfort zone. And you need to understand this in order to break through that terror barrier. If you don't understand this, you're not going to move past it into freedom. So if you understand that this brand new idea has moved you into a new vibration and you have got an XY vibration, which is brand new to you, then you're going to be able to move past fear. You understand that you are feeling something new within your energy system. This new idea has impressed a new emotion on you. So we go through this. This is what you feel when you get a new idea. First thing, worry and doubt. So because you don't know how to achieve it, you get worry and doubt. You're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. This is impressed into the subconscious mind as fear. So everybody feels fear because I don't know what to do. That is impressed into the body as anxiety. So anxiety is never expressed. It's always suppressed into the body. It is felt as depression, overwhelmed, sadness, emotions like that, and it creates dis-ease within the body. Never say disease. Always hyphenate that word. It's best for you. So ignorance is the root of all problems because you don't know what is happening to you. So we deem that as ignorance. If we move on here, the opposite of this thing is knowledge, study, and understanding. Now, this will give you, if you have knowledge, understanding, and you study these things, then it gives you faith. And I'm not talking about blind faith here. If you have blind faith, the first bump in the road, you're just going to jump right back into your X vibration. I'm talking about trust. Trust in the process of knowing that this whole system, this servo mechanism actually works. It's truth. Understanding and knowing that if I set my goal and I see what the end product is and that this stuff will work and the information that I need is going to come to me, then you get well-being. And well-being is expressed as creation. It moves you at warp speeds. It sets you into the flow of acceleration. This helps you achieve goals. This is what you need in your life. You can choose this. Your conscious mind has the ability to think. Your subconscious mind does not. It just follows the work order. That's what it does. So if you're thinking worry and doubt, well, the work order is worry, doubt, fear. It's going to pump that out and it's going to give you more things to worry about, more doubt, more fear. You have to change your processes. So understanding you moves you into freedom. That's what you get. Step 4 of this whole process is intuition. There have been many great minds that believe in the connection between ideas and a vast storage of information outside our own memory. Einstein, Emerson, Emerson, he never took any credit for anything he came up with. He always said, if I didn't come up with, someone else would. There's a doctor, Dr. J.B. Rhine. He was once head of the Duke University's parapsychology laboratory. He proved this experimentally, that people have access to a greater consciousness. Wouldn't you love to get tuned in? I know that I'm tuned in, and it's an amazing thing. So when you are connected to the infinite storehouse of knowledge and power, it gives you so much information. This is when you're getting it in your dreams. You're getting it in those aha moments. It's an amazing process. Did you know that governments, nations, universities have invested huge amounts of monies into studying the fact that humans have access to knowledge, facts, ideas other than their own individual memories? Have you ever been with someone and they answer your question before you even ask it? They know what you're thinking? Or were you ever singing a song and then another person, you're singing it in your mind and another person starts singing it? We often say, oh, it's just a coincidence. You know what it actually is? It's telekinesis. It's an amazing thing. So at a very early age, what happens is we're taught in school to start focusing all of our attention on intellect and none of it on awareness. So what happens is our intellect or our studying or maths, things like that, becomes king. It really doesn't serve us any purpose. It can help us, but awareness is what really gives us power. So we're taught to get a degree, learn more, but we are not taught how to expand our level of awareness. I was taught this as a kid. I was told, get a degree, you'll be somebody. Well, I did that. I didn't become someone. What actually happened to me was I was still overwhelmed. I still kept searching. I didn't find it until I found awareness. That's when I started to feel better. So we're just not taught how to gather and use information properly. So how many of you know people with degrees coming off the end of their business cards but are not very productive individuals? I know quite a few. Then you see others with no education at all, and they earn millions of dollars. It just blew my mind. That's why I kept searching and searching. So your ability to enjoy the good life is dependent on your level of awareness. Everything that you are seeking is literally seeking you. You must be aware enough to see it when it arrives. So a person doesn't earn $50,000 a year because they want to earn $50,000 a year. They earn it because they're not aware of how to earn $250,000 a year. So how many of you would like to expand your awareness so that you can earn more money, you can grow your business, you can build better relationships, and you can decrease your anxiety? I know I wanted to know this. So let this circle represent your awareness. As your level of awareness increases, so does your productivity. Why do you see so many people working for the same team, selling the same product, and one is doing amazing while the other is just not doing that great? Why? Do you know? It's all about awareness. Ask yourself a question. Why is this? The more aware you become, the more you see, the more answers you find, and the more you can solve your problems. Effective education combined with professional coaching over a reasonable period of time will expand your level of awareness. The saddest thing that I've ever seen is a child who's scared of the dark. But you know what's even worse? Is an adult who's afraid of the light. You gotta get tuned in. It's the best thing that you could ever do for yourself. It will help your mind and it'll help your productivity. So what I'd like to do is a connection exercise to help you see that you are already connected. You're just not aware. So here's how the exercise goes. What I want you to do is just relax for a moment. I want you to see or imagine a white light flowing in from the top of your head and from the bottom of your feet. It's going to fill your body, and I want you to expand this light from the center of your body out past your house. What you're searching for is peace. Out past your city, out past the earth, out past the moon, and out past the universe. Just keep moving it until you feel peace. Once you feel peace, I want you to become aware of your body. Then I want you to say yes, yes, yes. Pay attention to how your body feels when you say yes, yes, yes. Now imagine yourself going to the closet, and I want you to put on some yes, yes, yes clothes. Clothes that you would wear make you feel just perfect. Where do you feel that in your body? What color is yes? Now remember what that feels like. Take off those yes clothes, and now I want you to say no, no, no. Where does no feel like in your body? Go to the closet and you put on some no, no, no clothes, things you'd never be caught dead in. Where do you feel that in your body? What color is no? Okay, get off those no clothes. You don't want to be wandering around with no clothes on. You need to remember what that feels like, because if you want to take on a new endeavor, you would ask yourself this question. If I were to start this new business, would I be profitable in it? And then pay attention to how you feel. It's going to say yes or no. You're going to know. And you'll know in an instant what that feels like. This is how I always get the right answers. We move on to action steps. Number 5. How do you take action? What do you do when you're taking action? To let go, you must let go of doubt and fear in order to allow yourself to move into action. If you don't do that, you're never going to do it. Without action or doing, your goals will never be achieved. Without doing, you will never, ever achieve anything. Ideas are ready to be expressed. No matter the time, day, or night, you must act upon it. Think about this. People allow the clock to dictate when they will do everything. When a baby is born, does it wait until the time is appropriate? No. It shows up and it comes when the baby is ready. It could be the middle of the night, any time of day. And you know what? You might be driving down the road. That baby's coming when it's damn well coming. So is the same with ideas. They're going to be expressed when they are darn well ready. And you must act on them when you receive the information. So you are created with the mental tools to work in harmony with everything present and all-knowing creator. He is there all the time, in every moment. Remember when I taught you about your connection to awareness and intuition and the universal consciousness? Well, this will allow you to receive information at the right time. But you know what? You must be aware enough to receive it, and you must take action when you receive it. It's important. You are the only form created that has been given these mental tools. They're powerful. Well, of course, this is as far as we know. The nucleus of you is perfect, and it is always longing for expansion and fuller expression. It is your responsibility to grow, and people don't always grow. So look at your work. How can you improve it? Get 10 times, 50 times better. Don't worry about being paid for it. That will come. It is the law. Write down your ideas as they come. Do it with your social life, your relationships. Begin to imagine beautiful trips you can take with your family. Set goals, something for your success mechanism to target. Don't worry if you have a few failures. Remember, they're part of your learning process. You are creating the negative feedback loop so that you can hit the target with ease. Do not see any failure as an end to a goal, but keep seeing the goal. It's important. So this is the time in the presentation for you to get in charge of your life. You can take everything I taught you and you can do it all yourself. Part B is you can get on a strategy call. The problem with working alone is that you're in your own mind. Where has that got you? Doing it alone will keep you in the same pattern. You know, if not now, then when? When are you going to do it? Is what you are currently doing working for you? Where are you going to start investing in yourself? When are you going to do this? I tried to do it alone myself for many years. Didn't work for me. I started investing in myself and got myself the coach that worked for me. And I tell you, my life changed. So what strategies have you done in the past that worked for you, and which ones did not? You need to think about this. On the next slide, I'm going to give you a link. I'm going to share this with you to book a 40-minute strategy session with me, and it's free. So it's free for the first 10 people to get on a free strategy session with me. I'm going to put the link in the chat, which I'm not sure if it's working, but that's okay. I'm going to put it there anyways. So we'll escape out of here, go back to the Hangout. Put it there. Move this here. There we go. There's the link. Okay. So if you're able to chat, then chat. If you're not, well, you have the link there. And you can also message me on Facebook if that's the case. And you will also be getting a replay of this just so that you can take a look at it again. So thank you all for showing up and thank you for spending time with me. I really appreciate it. And there is your link for the Book Me so that you can book a free 40-minute session with me. You guys have a great evening and thank you all for being with me. I appreciate it. Well, there I am back. Awesome. And I'm going to stop broadcasting now. You guys have a great night.